continue to flow in quiet stillness. Along the way, the phone's battery stopped at 97% for no clear reason. It was a tiny fluctuation, never meant to be recorded. Yet this program gathers only those small, meaningless shifts.
It's noon now. First, I have a strange rule. I was watching Harry Potter lately, but I haven't been watching it this day. Also, about the show name, I made a plan to decide on the show description, the explanation, and the cover art all in one day today. So it went direct for a month or two like before. At first, I wasn't planning to record the English episode, but in the end, I recorded it in the morning. I also made a very careful plan about what to do today, but the show name, since I was thinking about it yesterday, will I do this today? I want to do that instead, or will I do it? Yes, it's my own rule. I've been doing the things like that for a long time, like for strength training. I had times when I thought I want to do it today, but I'll do this instead. Now, next story. Yes, I'm choosing the show cover art and the show name for the podcast now. Especially for the cover art, I want to make it as easy to understand and striking as possible so people know what the show is about. But it's a very hard thing to do. There's no way I can do it easily. But I have to do it anyway. Also, I have to make the show name and in just one or two words. I'm a bit stuck on this too. And I finished the show description too, but there are still parts I don't feel sure about. I only need to change one part, but it makes me want to change everything. It made me remember that when I was in elementary school or when I grew up more. I'm such a perfectionist and that I can change just one part. I've read so many times like this. Now, next story. What do you think? When I think about something, my feelings change. This happens a lot. It's easy to understand. You think about bad things, you feel bad, right? But it's rare that thinking about bad things even affect your body. I think stress is a longer term thing that build up, and it takes a long time to build up until your body goes crazy. In my case, when I think it will affect my body in many ways. For example, I feel sick, like I have car sickness just by daydreaming. Then, on the other hand, it's really like our thought don't change much because our feeling. It feels like today's thought aren't made by the mood at that time, right? But in my case, I get affected a lot. But maybe everyone is like that. When you're in a dark mood, you get controlled by it and your thoughts become like that too. So you aren't choosing what to think by controlling it yourself. It's like a dream. Even if it's not as much as a dream, I think our thoughts are made by our feelings at that time. In my case, it's always like that. Feelings change because the body's condition. That's normal. You feel good when your body is good, and you don't when you have stress. But for me, it's not just that. My thought changed too. It started to catch my attention directly. The body's condition has many stress, not just good or bad, but complex things. It's hard to notice them. And in my case, especially with my health, it's hard to understand my body's condition. But that's exactly why it's strange. My thought can change depending on my body's condition. Have you had this kind of experience when you're sleeping at night and you want to go to the bathroom? You have a dream about going to the bathroom, right? In my case, even when I'm awake, not to mention feeling, even my way of thinking change because my body's condition. I get affected by it. It makes me feel really strange. Yes, in my daily routine, where I do things without thinking, it goes badly. But it's not good if I think too much either. The skill I got by trying different things, the place I reach, though it might sound strange too, is that I stepped through the usual process, but I try to do it as fast as possible. Part of it is because I'm a hasty person, but it became a workout too. And I'm relaxed. Of course, I don't feel lazy. Anyway, I concentrated. I concentrate on each moment in my mind. I concentrate on each moment and try to do it as fast as possible, and that works just right. I don't think too much and I don't act too much without thinking. Also today, a member of Snowman said that since they became popular like this, various people say things, but to fight back, he entering a dance contest now. It's very bold of me to say this, but I have a side that lives directly like this. So I don't root to the feeling that nothing matters. It must be its own conclusion. And I think this lifestyle fit me too. I thought there are other people who do something that looks completely unrelated just to fight back, and though it seemed like a dead hour, it's actually a good way to fight back. I was really moved. Also, this was when I was in junior high school. I was riding a bicycle, and the person in front of me was really slow. So I passed him. Then, even though he was riding slowly until then, he passed me back. It would have been fine if he just kept going like snowman, but he became slow there. So I passed him, 'cause he was too slow. He did this to me over and over, so I was daydreaming that I should have said this to him, like, you're too slow, so I have no choice but to pass you. From common sense, this thinking isn't strange, right? You have common sense, don't you? If you do, you understand, right? I passed you, and as soon as I passed, you got mad and passed me back, and it'd be fine if you just went away, but you became through. So of course I'll pass you again. I thought I should explain it properly. By the way, he had a mental disability. I think about this show name, and uh, and it might sound like my thoughts keep changing quickly, but I don't think nothing matters, and I'm not looking for a meaning like a story, and I'm not shaking either. I think there are many people like that. It's not that I shake because I have no confidence, but I'm in a state where I'm standing still. I thought I already shut down the path to having a meaning in the first place, but actually I realized I might have been deep inside the feeling that noticing matters. I was deep inside it when I keep thinking about and explaining things like this. It feels like there's no meaning at all, but now this is a very important thing for me, actually inside the feeling that nothing matters. On the other hand, I wonder why I didn't give up or think everything is garbage. But about this, maybe it's because I have iron rules or I forgot if there was something else, but looking for that reason itself might mean I'm looking for meaning, but I must be inside the ultimate state of feeling that nothing matters. But I think people in the world are mistaken. Giving up hope isn't that ultimate state yet. It's a state where you are still looking for a story. That's why giving up hope and having hope are the one thing you can give up hope because you see right behind it. When you really stop looking for a story, you can't even give up hope. Like I said before, usually when people feel nothing matters, they give up themselves, right? But I was staring right, and I kept standing. But it's not that I tried to do that myself, so I gave up hope and the state where nothing matters. I would run to the rescue at that time. In a way, that's rescue too. And it's a state of looking for a rescue later. I use the word right either earlier. But if you can run to the rescue, what's happened is you really give up hope. You realize that rescue was just a fantasy and there is a story too. When that happens, you break down completely. That's why I know things have no meaning, but I had no choice but to do that. I broke off from things in a big way. For a long time, I keep thinking why I can keep standing straight inside this emptiness. My daily routine, rules, and being strict, I thought I was fighting back against it, but I was wrong. The reason why I could keep standing is because the 20 years I spent in religion. So I'll say it's simply, to put it simply, the words might be wrong, but there is no meaning to live in this world. I understand that truth deeply from the bottom of my heart, not halfway, and that's why I think I can keep standing inside this emptiness. Before I thought of myself as a teacher of religion. I thought that before it wasn't that I just followed blindly but while having a bad reaction. I tried hard to breathe and live because I tested. Did I realize that meaning is actually a fantasy? Or because there was a breakdown called right. Did I decide never to rescue again? But I think I might understand it to the bone. It feels that way. I must understand that it doesn't exist. Also, I noticed one more thing. Of course, it's because the rules of a disciplined life, but also I feel meaning in things right in front of me to live at the minimum level, right? For example, during meal, it's not for something else, but just to taste. There is no special purpose where I taste before. I thought I should concentrate. One point right in front of me, but it's not such a nice story. Also, it's a physical feeling, so I see things by the feeling, not the meaning. I thought that is nothing to do with it, but I can trust that the physical feeling of things or physical reaction. For example, during meal, feeling the taste. That kind of physical reaction from the test, I can believe physical event. That doesn't mean I only believe what I can see. I don't understand the meaning of only believing or not believing what you see. So it's story, but whether you believe in a fantasy or ghost story, right? I'm not saying that kind of thing now. I'm not saying a good thing. Of course, I don't believe in ghost story either. Apart from that, also that 20 years I was in religion, Nietzsche was like that too. Nietzsche in philosophy, there must be a reaction against it too. I always say this, but life has no meaning, so the energy comes out as a reaction. But what I'm saying now is, how do I stay alive like this? What kind of energy is it? There might be no such things as energy, but how does the minimum energy to run a minimal life come out? Animal instinct, and because I was in religion, I understand from bottom of my heart that there is no meaning to live, and because I believe it, I don't get beaten down either, and I just noticed there's no meaning to live. Usually I know that nothing matters, but I think these 20 years are big. Even when I believe there is a meaning to live, there was a bad reaction, and anyway, a huge realist was made. Also roots who I think, but the reason why I live and can manage my life more deeply than just rules. There must be something big. It's not a story, but being supported by someone is not that problem. Though of course that's true too. I have, I have, I have to manage by myself to live inside this lonely place. I have to manage somehow, but I wonder how I can live inside this lonely place of emptiness where nothing matters. Because usually people break down there. In my case, this world is empty, so it must be a fighting spirit against it. I'm sure that is that it. That's why, because there is no meaning, there's definitely a fighting spirit to keep standing straight. Let's change the story a bit. The male idol was aiming for dance contest, and he teamed up with a schoolgirl he's been an idol for some years, and I thought good things can just fall from the sky. He spent 3 hours making a lunchbox and brought it. He's a member of Snowman. I mean, a girl of that age would be super happy, right? A person from the group she support to make a lunchbox and bring it. You never know what will happen in life. It's not that I never did anything like that, like a good thing falling from the sky, but I can't think of one right away now. But the meal first, the kimchi I looked different from usual, so I panicked. After this, it was a croquette that tasted like the inside of a dumpling. It was my first time having that croquette, but I wondered who the fried batter was any meaning. And I ate while calculating the balance between the batter and the inside, but very carefully. Also, as I said before, I found that the reason why I still can't use a small citrus fruit and why I don't go to the next ingredient until I finish eating one. Well, first I can never concentrate my mind goes to the other one. Also, I wanna save the that I like for later, and I forgot the rest. Well, it's something I noticed a long time ago, but I haven't talked about it here, so I'll talk about it. If you can eat well during meal, since we are bad at eating, you think you should you should eat this ingredient in this way, right? Then you try to do the same thing next time, right? When you do that, it never goes well. Probably everything in this world is changing. And if you try to do the same thing as last time without much the change, it never goes well. I have to change a bit to if you stick to it and try to do the same as before, it's not good. That's why Buddha said, don't stick to it. Everything changed, so he said you shouldn't stick to change. It's such a small things in life, right? But what Buddha says feels like it says in each moment like this, rather than in big things in life. It stays there. Also, there were green peppers and shrimp and chili sauce, but they too. I thought about those two girls from high school. How talked to me until I went to the bus, and the other girl talked to me too and asked, asked me out on a date. I felt that regret there too. I was thinking about what they thought when I looked at the club activity, and they always cheered for me a lot in a game before I quit. I was thinking what they felt at that time too. But the reason why I have to think about the meaning of human life like this is because I'm living a hidden life. On the other hand, why don't people in the world have to think about it every time? Because humans always get carried away by the people around them. Whether they wanna go or not, they have to live by being carried away by others. They are saved because they are chased by time, but I think there must be other people like this. I had a perfect fantasy when I was in religion, when that breakdown is huge thing that makes me strong to say it simply it keeps my heart from breaking. It's a preparation against cheap hope rescue. It's like a defense that was made. Also during religion days, I believed meaning many times, and I noticed giving up hope and contradiction. And question came up. I didn't follow blindly, and to put it in a nice way, I was honest. So that made me suffer a lot. So I believed in a small right, and when it broke down later, I was made to experience what happens many times. So I didn't run away into stories. Also, even if I was betrayed a bit there, it became no problem. I don't know, but when you do religion, you have to root your ego or personal desires, right? You have to leave it to God. I certainly thought I was being led to. When the story broke down in the first place, the main character like myself didn't exist, so I didn't have to give up hope and I didn't need to run away into stories. If so, other members or other believers where the weight is very different between me and other believer, but maybe even if I say the main character didn't exist in the first place, I have an ego, right? I think that feeling is weak, but there might be a little, but I don't think I feel it to God as, but I felt it, but I left it to Him. It's not that I depended on Him, but I might have gone through the process throwing away my ego and maybe my emotional ups and downs are a notice for me to emotional ups and downs were desires when I entered religion as a notice things that get in the way of survival. I became able to handle it since the religion days, though the purpose is completely different now. But as a result, could that maybe this place doesn't change now, or I don't know if only the surface part is the same. This is strange too. Though I said I can stand inside emptiness because it's empty. I don't become a perfectionist, and I don't expect too much in a strange way. So I feel like it connects with Buddha's teaching too. Well, that's fine. Apart from that, because nothing matters. I can live like this by feeling that noticing nothing matters. I keep my mental stability. It's strange, isn't it? Because I'm inside the feeling that nothing matters. I have to keep myself from being swallowed by emptiness, but because I'm inside it, there are parts where I'm safe to. It's strange. Before I thought I need both depression and OCD like two wheels of car, and that connect a lot with the story. OCD means words, right? Depression means that emptiness. It's interesting, but I have to think about the shonen all night for 2 days in a row. So I'm feeling a bit down, but I was thinking about many things inside that. I feel various things, deeply, and people, the heart. sensitively, but some people don't care about that at all. There are cases where that person's story comes in naturally, and I think at the right, like a genius, there was a comedian like that. Comedian maybe them team with me. It's rare after all. Do I see the hidden side of that person? I think what kind of hidden meaning there is, but I don't care much about people who look strong. I can watch them with a safe feeling. Next story like looks are strange, aren't they? People in the world act like there is a right answer, so they decide this person is handsome or something like that, right? For that, even when I look at articles, they seem to know that everyone likes different things, right? Then I don't think you can decide if someone's work looks good or bad, but looks are strange even with awareness. I think everyone sees a person as beautiful or handsome in the same way when I think they are beautiful or handsome, but that might be an illusion too. But it feels like there is such a standard too. But after all, everyone's standard is completely different. Also, because it's empty, I don't expect too much, and I don't get too anxious. I don't get too anxious. Also, I threw away the sense of duty. Do you know why? Also, I don't become too much a perfectionist. Also, the survival steps without rules, I can't go into emptiness. But because it's empty, I can do survival steps, so there's the contradiction. I used the word to words earlier, but they hold hands well, become a circle and loops in a good way. It must be working as order to. It's night now. It's midnight, Mom. It's on the first floor now. So I couldn't go to the bathroom, and after more than 30 minutes passed, my stomach went bad, and I spent tens of minutes in the bathroom. Moreover, I've been pulling my sleeves up to my elbows since more than 10 years ago. I do it because I can't wash my hand, or I can't wash them well. But they kept slipping down, so it was a trouble. I still had many things to do, but the show name too. And when I'm standing, the feel my right foot hurts, so I'm standing on my left foot. That tired me out too. So it was tough. Also, a singer is doing the ending theme for anime, and he was in interview. There is a part that mimics or copies the main theme, the song, and when I heard it, artists people often they think track is fine if the listeners imagine it, right? This person said that today too, but it's clearly nothing but respect to the main theme song. When I heard it, artists people often say things like it's fine if the listeners imagine it. Right, this person said that today too, but it's clearly nothing but respect to the main theme song. So I kept thinking why he said it that way. at that time. Also, I was thinking about the show name, and I thought it's become the study for English too. So that's good. But when I speak, when I output, I don't use such difficult words. So what was the meaning? It had no meaning at all, and I was shocked to notice that. Also, I'm recording the English episode in the podcast, and I think nobody else would do this. I look up to him. I wonder why I can't do it like that. So about this, it's fine to be different from others, and there's no need to look down on myself because I'm different. Oh, I can't wipe out that feeling either. So in this case, I just have to keep going even though I was raised by religion. It's rare that I became empty like this, but I think because I was in religion, I can keep standing inside emptiness. I'm watching from a step back, so to speak. I shouldn't be swallowed by desire, so now I shouldn't be swallowed by emptiness. Though emptiness itself is a desire, it must be a same thing. But at that time I was doing religion, so it was different from now. To keep from being swallowed by desire, that means I had a habit of stepping back and observing my mind condition. I look at it. I look at it from a step back, thinking I feel like this now. So I don't think I can see it objectively, but I wanna be saved. Or rather, the reason why I don't get carried away by that is because I was trained by that thought, because I have a habit of looking at my feelings from step back. I might be keeping myself from running away to new rescue. Also, I was inside a huge system, but meaning right. I didn't jump into a new rescue like thinking that things will be fine if I have this or if I hold something important. I know this side effect of rescue. Also the fact that it's empty, and because it's desire instead of emergency. If you compare it to the weather, it's just like there are rainy days too. So I don't think it's such an emergency. And on the contrary, because I did religion, I might be able to bear this emptiness. Also, something that supports me more than a survival steps I mentioned earlier are roots that nature not cutting the connection with reality. It might be nature that became my core, not taking my eyes off reality. This isn't such a different thing. People often say it, right? Turning your eyes away from reality. You could say it's because I can't do that, so it must be a feeling that I can't go back to fantasy. Also, as an essential reason why I can stay inside emptiness, I might think the structure of a story, how people are made by a story, and how it creates nature depending on it. That's why I don't get swallowed. Fortunately or fortunately, must understand it to the marrow. Also, adults can't move unless there's meaning, but I'm the same. I can't moving unless there's meaning, but I could manage with less of it. And that's why I can live inside emptiness, right? Because I understand that it's empty. But I can live like this. This is a natural thing to, but for me, emptiness is a flat land. It's not something you fall from. It's a flat land. Bring aside why it became so. Emptiness was a flat land, but that's because I was inside religion. So it feels like I'm watching from inside the story rather than watching from the outside.